A slightly different video today for you. Today I'm sorting a few niggling issues on my car which have been there for years. I'm also answering some questions that you've sent through to me through various social media, and also you might have noticed that, yeah, I'm on holiday. Yeah, I'm Kev from up the North Coast Workshop. We all find content on car modification and DIY. Today's video, yes, I mentioned Izzy on a family holiday. I managed to nip away quickly because the wife and the daughter were getting ready upstairs. I nipped away to do a quick intro for the video, and basically it's me sorting some niggling issues with the car while also answering a few questions I got sent through on my social media, my Instagram and on YouTube as well. Hopefully you enjoy the video. It's something a bit different. If you're not here for the questions to be answered, then you might be here to see a few of the issues that I do, watch them get sorted, and you can ask me any questions for anything I do sort in the video. You can ask it down below in the comment section on this video. Hope you enjoy, and let's get stuck straight in. So first on the list was just changing an LED bulb on the back of the car. I put a standard bulb in place just to keep the car legal on the road, but ordered new LED bulbs from Little More Lighting. They came really promptly, and yeah, just pop one back in and you can see a difference in brightness between a standard bulb and these new brighter LED bulbs. So onto my first question from Dick Dasterley. He said, I'm considering a stage 1 remap on my 1.4 TSI FR. Any advice? So first I would make sure that the engine is mechanically sound before you do any sort of remap to it. Then I would just research to see what a remap would bring out in power for your car. If the gains for your remap aren't that big, it's only maybe 10 or 15 horsepower gain compared to maybe 40 or 50 horsepower, I would say if it's only a small amount, invest the money for remap into cosmetic items instead. So the way the car looks, the way the car sits, and maybe on lower suspension, maybe on spoilers or splitters. If it is only a small horsepower gain from a remap, I definitely say invest the money cosmetically instead. So onto my engine cover that I've customised with a Cupra badge a while back, and the Cupra letters on it, I sprayed these silver with spray paint. But of course with the heat of the engine, the paint has bubbled on top of these letters. So I've ordered new chrome letters to put in place of it. Got a question from HQ Agri Videos. So he's asked, how much did you put into the Leon? Well, can't really say exactly over the years how much I've properly put into it with servicing and running costs, but I'll do a quick modification rundown of the prices I've paid for modifications that I can remember, and we'll see how much exactly it did cost. So roughly £1,200 for my full exhaust system. I paid about £350 for my induction kit. That's a Forge induction kit. I paid about £340 for my TDI tuning box, which now is just sitting in my garage. I don't use it anymore at all, because I then paid £300 for a stage 1 remap. Over the years I've had the car, I've paid a total of about roughly £600 for 2-wheel refurbishments. So not just 2 wheels, I mean for 2 complete, all 4 wheels being refurbed by a specialist company. About approximately £300 then on just smaller modifications that I've spent on over the years. Oh, and of course the £500 I've spent on a new suspension kit, which is in the garage ready to go on the car very soon. So in total that is £3,590. Yeah, I hope the wife isn't watching this video. Now the first of a few questions from Christopher. First of all, he asked why the Cupra R Mark II. So I was maybe having a midlife crisis about 10 years ago, and although a brilliant wee car, I was kind of getting bored of my Volvo C30 1.6 diesel. So one night on Auto Trader for a few hours, and I spotted my yellow Cupra R Mark II. Now I used to have a Mark I Cupra that was a TDI. It was a really nice car as well, so I thought maybe it was time to try the Mark II version instead. So my Cupra R was advertised as an X demo. It was 4,000 miles on the clock, only 1 year old, and it was on for sale at £17,500. So I thought it was a bargain. I went down, part exchanged my old Volvo C30 and drove away with a nice new Cupra R. Next up for niggling issues is the R badge on the grille. This has been damaged by stone chip over the year it's been on the car, and it's also missing the gloss black insert on it as well. So I've got a brand new R badge to put on. This matches the badge on the boot, and people have been asking like, why have I gone for this R compared to the standard Cupra R for the Seat, and I just prefer the R from the Golf Rs, so I've decided to try and customise all the Rs on the car to this one instead. Now Jasper asks, have you upgraded the stereo of my vehicle? And the answer is basically no, I haven't. I have upgraded the speakers inside the doors to these Juice branded speakers. I'm not too sure if they're decent or not, but the matter of fact is, unless you add an amplifier to the system, or unless you get an upgraded head unit that has more wattage getting pumped out of it, you're never really going to get any massive increase in the sound in the car. So even if you do change the speakers, if you're still powering it by your standard head unit, you're not really going to get the full potential out of those speakers until you add an amplifier. Now this job of painting the rear door check on my car, so a while back someone, or maybe it was myself even, shut the seatbelt in the door and made a dent and also chipped away the paint as well. I'm going to use a Chipex repair kit here to repair the paint on the car. I can't sadly repair the dent though. And if you do want to see how proper video how to use this Chipex repair kit, I'll leave a link near the end of the video and also down in the description as well. Now RGMPerformance had a few good questions to ask, and firstly he asked what's my long-term plans for the car. So I'm looking to go stage 2 plus this year hopefully. I am also hoping for a trip down to Artec for it as well, though that's a 10-hour drive for me, so we'll have to see how that goes exactly. I'd also love to do a wrap on the car as well, like a customised vinyl wrap. I watch Yanamai's on YouTube the whole time. I think the stuff that his guys churn out is amazing, and yeah, I'd love to have some sort of unique colour for my car. Whether I would do it myself is a different story. I know it's a skilled job and I'd hate to make a mess of it, so yeah, that would also be a plan in the pipeline, but we'll have to see how funds go for that. RGMPerformance also asked, is there anything you wish you'd done differently or sooner than you did? So there's only really one regret, and this is no disrespect to TDI tuning boxes, but I just wish I hadn't paid £340 on a tuning box, which gave me a small increase in power when I should have gone for a stage 1 remap. TDI tuning boxes do work in certain scenarios, but in my circumstances it was more sense to just get a stage 1 remap for the car and not spend money previously on a tuning box instead. And then finally he asked your thoughts on the current car market. So basically just now it seems if you're selling it's good, and if you're buying it's crap. I think if cars have been well cared for and looked after they should be worth a bit more second hand, but now it seems that even a clapped out old family SUV that's rough around the edges has jumped in value as much as a pristine hot hatch. Once new cars start getting shipped out again, I'm sure, or I hope, it might calm down a bit. And I'll just let you know as well that RGMPerformance have their own YouTube channel, so I'll leave links down below in the description as well. Now Gregor, RGMPerformance and Christopher all asked what will be the next car, or would you ever consider a different car within the same power range. So I always going to say I'm never going to change my car, but I do really like the Audi S3 saloons. Now whether I actually get one in the future, I don't know. They're worth a lot of money just now, even second hand they're extortionate, but if I saw one for the right price and it had a decent spec, yeah, never say never. But at the moment I have no plans changing the car at all. I'll still be making Mark II Leon content. So next job up on the list was to check a rattle for one of the door speakers in the back of the car. Been rattling for a while now, and I finally got around to checking it out. Now Valentin Copex asked what modifications have I done to my car. So I've done loads of different modifications over the years, and this might sound a bit of a cop out really, but I have done a video that does a full walk around of the car and lists every single modification up to the point of that video anyway that I've done to it. So I will leave a link down below in the description, and again a link at the end of the video to click on to check that video out, and then you'll see everything I've done exactly to the Cupra R. Next up, I wanted to lubricate the window runners. Now this is simply just something I've seen on YouTube, that where silicone spray is used in the runners of the windows, and this helps them move more freely and also can prevent the motors in the windows from burning out too soon. So Amateur Grease Monkey and Christopher asked what's my favourite supercar, or what is my all-time dream car. Now this might sound like a strange one, but when I was younger I really liked the 2006 Aston Martin Vantage, and then later on they created the Vanquish, and then there's this V12 S model. That was my dream supercar, just purely for looks, for road presence and for comfort as a proper kind of cruising car. There's better cars out there I'm sure, and for the money as well, but I've always just had this soft spot for the Aston Martin. And the final job then of just installing the rest of the fat mat to the boot floor. Now the boot floors in the Leons kind of act as a speaker. They amplify road noise as well as any noise of aftermarket exhausts like my Cobra system. So by installing this fat mat, it just kind of helps quieten down the inside of the car. And an old school friend of mine, Alan Fryer, he has asked how to do a good car wash without access to a hose. So I used to live in an upstairs flat a good few years ago, and I would have to walk back and forth with buckets of water to rinse the car. But back then I was washing the car with a bucket of soapy water, no pre-wash, no snow foam, just straight onto a dry car. Yeah, I would cringe if I saw me doing that these days. So if that was me now, for a decent car wash, nothing fancy, I would try the following. Get yourself a decent wash mitt, some citrus pre-wash, some non-acidic wheel cleaner, a pack of cheap detailing brushes, and a drying towel. So as strange as this might sound, get yourself along to the local jet wash. And once there, give the bottom half of the car a good spritz with the citrus pre-wash. Then the wheels, a quick coating with the wheel cleaner, and quickly work that into the wheels with the detailing brushes. Now pop £1 in, or whatever it is in your country, maybe €1, and just thoroughly rinse from the top to the bottom car and the wheels. Hopefully you'll get about 2.5 minutes to do this in. Now put a second quid into the jet wash and basically get the foam brush and just hover it above the car. Don't let the foam brush touch the car itself, you'll put scratches into the paintwork, but just have it above the car and basically cover the car in the snow foam that comes out of it. Put loads and loads on the roof as well, and you can use this then later on once the machine's stopped. Now use a wash mitt to work the soap around the surface. Use detailing brushes for around badges and wheels, and then finally put one more quid into the jet wash and rinse the car. And if you want to, you can then dry it afterwards with the drying cloth. And if you want to go that extra step, you can always buy these wax sprays or gloss enhancers that you can spray onto the paintwork, give them a quick buff in with a cloth, and then wipe them back off. So hopefully that helps. So I actually felt quite good to get all those wee issues on the car sorted finally. I did have a seat bolster to repair as well at the same time, but I did that a separate video altogether, which I'll leave up here in the corner if you click on. As always, hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, found it useful in any way. Also hit subscribe down below to catch more videos from the channel in the future. And I will now let you go for the rest of the evening, and I'm going to get my tea. I've wanted to do this for ages actually, so hold on. I'll see you later. I wanted to do this for ages, by the way.